Hey guys, and welcome back for another tutorial. Today I'm going to be starting a series of quilt block videos. Today we will be working on the 9-patch quilt block, and I'm going to be making this into a zipper pouch because you know me, I love my zipper pouches and I just love making them out of quilt blocks. So I'm just going to go over some of the tools that I like to use. So these are some that you might already have. But I use these specifically when I am making quilted items. So I like to have a ruler with 1/4 inch measurements. Of course, my rotary cutter, which I use for all projects. My snips, because there is a lot of threads when you're making quilted items. I also have pins, which you most likely have, but I really love these because they are actually a glass head pin, so if you hit it with your iron, it's not going to melt. I have, of course, my iron, but if you're only making small projects, you might want to think about getting a small palm iron. Those are really nice and they don't take up too much room on your table. And of course, a stitch ripper, because we are all human and everybody makes mistakes. So this is the 9-patch that I am making, and of course you can make the feature of your 9-patch different. So this next one that I'm making, I'm going to have the center be the focus. So the outer squares are going to be all in the same tonal range, and then I'll have that pop of teal in the center. As the other block that I made it so that the corners were that main focus, which was that navy blue floral print. So this is the variation I'm going with. I'm going to be sewing these in rows of 3. So we're going to start off with the first row, and we're just making 3 separate sections, and then we will sew those 3 separate sections together to create our quilt block. So the first thing we're going to do is take the top row, and we'll take 2 of the blocks and put those with the right sides together. You really want to be careful and make sure things are lined up very precisely, just because that will make sure that your intersecting seams and all that stuff are all, pretty much bang on. So I'm going to be using the side of my presser foot, and I just measured where my needle is going to be, so I know it's generally going to be 1/4 inch, but throughout your quilting project you want to make sure that your needle's in that same position and you're using a line on your machine, or you're using the side of your presser foot all the time, just so that you can be consistent and make sure you have a perfectly even block. And then after we're done the first seam, then we'll just take that second piece, put that with the right sides together with that center block that I designated. And then again, I will do that 1/4 inch seam allowance, or some people call it a scant seam allowance, which is just another way of saying 1/4 inch. I don't know why they do that. They just want to complicate things, but that is what they do. So I'm just doing the other 2 rows of quilt blocks. And then you're going to have 3 separate rows of your little charm square. I know I didn't mention the measurements before, but these are 2.5 inch squares. But with the 9-patch, you can really make your squares whatever size you want, because as long as they are all the same size, you're gonna get your 9-patch. So you can have 5-inch squares, 3-inch, it doesn't matter. It's up to you, but you of course can do the math to figure out how large of a block you want. So after you're done doing your 3 rows, we're just going to press our seam allowances. If you want to press to one side or press towards the dark fabric, you can do that, or you can split the seam and just press it right down the middle. It is up to you. I don't think it matters, but some will say it does. Just as long as you press your seams, I think you're good. So here are my 3 rows. And as you can see, the center really stands out, and I really love how that, I love the pop of teal right in the center. So now I'm just going to take those 3 rows, and then I will sew those, lining up my seams as best as I can. And it does get a little bulky there, so if you want to send one of your seam allowances to one side and then the other seam allowance to the other side, so it's not too bulky in that middle, you can do as I did, and you're just going to sew right down the one side with that same 1/4 inch seam allowance. And then of course you can marvel at your work and appreciate how perfect your seams are. And then we'll go ahead and attach that last row, and then you're all finished that 9 patch. So of course you can apply this to any project, but today I'm going to be taking 2 9 patches and just making it into a simple zipper pouch. Here's one side, and this is the other side. I'm going to do a really quick, fast video of me making a zipper pouch, which is really fun, and I love watching these things, and I wish I could sew this fast. But of course I do have tutorials on how to make different zipper pouches, so I will link some in the information icon in the top right hand corner of this video, and you can of course go over there, check it out, and then just apply those techniques to your little quilt blocks that you make. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you are excited for some of the new and fun different quilt blocks that I'm going to show you guys. I really want to expand my quilting knowledge, so the best way that I can do it is to have you guys along with me, and just let's do this together. So if you do make a quilted project, I would love to see it. So of course hit me up over at the Instagram and Facebook, which is all linked below, and I would love it if you subscribed if you're not already, and hit that notification bell so you can be alerted of future tutorials, and smash that like button, as the kids like to say these days. Every time you hit that like button, it only makes my videos appear higher for all these new people who should be part of this community. We need more people. Anyways, so I loved how this little zipper pouch turned out. It is so super cute. I love how on one side it's got one feel, and on the other side it's kind of got more of a dainty feel. You know me, I love a good zipper pouch, so I mean, I just use it for whatever. Put it in my purse or travel. I'm going to California in November. I'm so excited. Anyways, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next tutorial, which is Friday. Bye guys.